Hi everyone, Iris here. Today we're going to be talking all things PureSculpt ICE Facial, how to apply it and how to receive your product once you get it. So when you get your product, you're going to actually get it into this little tube and then these 3 empty tubes. What you want to do is make sure and open your container. This little bottom mechanism is a push-up container. So you want to make sure that it's completely all the way down so that your product will go in perfectly. Then what you want to do is you want to open it, shake it up really good for about 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes. Then go ahead and pour all the way in. Make sure it goes to the very tip, okay, to the very tip. Once you're done with it, you're going to go ahead and close it. Then you're going to go ahead and put it upside down. We like to have it upside down so that when you open it, it's nice and perfect and ready to apply. Okay, so once you put this in the freezer, you can go ahead and use it for after 24 hours. So after you've let it freeze and you're ready to go, then you can start application. So how do you start the application? You want to first start with cleaning your face. We use PureSculpt Cosmetics products. It's our sister company with PureSculpt Beauty. So we use the all-natural facial cleanser with aloe vera gel, and it also has activated charcoal and green tea. So it's really great. So I go ahead and clean my face all over, make sure that I clean it off and tap, tap, tap with a towel. Do not add any moisturizer or any other ingredients. You're ready to apply the facial. You want to then go immediately to the freezer, grab your facial. You want to make sure that you don't put it in the refrigerator. We've had clients who put it in the refrigerator. Make sure it's in the freezer for 24 hours before use. Go ahead and take it out. Go ahead and unscrew it. If it's too hard to unscrew because for some reason maybe it's spilled over on the ribs of the container, just want to put some warm water, run it through it. But for the most part, it should be pretty easy to open. If it's not, just go ahead and run some warm water and then you're ready to go. So one of the first things that you're going to want to do is go ahead and apply. We're going to start underneath the eye. Anything that we do on one side, we're going to mimic it on the other side. So here we go. 1, 2, 3. Today I am using the new hibiscus and beetroot ice facial. It's not even out yet. It'll be out in the summertime. So as you can see, I gently went ahead and passed underneath. 2, 3, tap, tap, tap. Smells so good. And then we're gonna go ahead and do our passes all along the side here. 1, 2, 3, 4. First, we're just gently applying the product. This particular ice facial has very fine grounds of the hibiscus flower, so you don't need to exfoliate, and I wouldn't recommend exfoliating before any of the ice facials just because they have those fine minerals also, and you just want to make sure that you don't want to over exfoliate. So on the days that you're not doing the ice facial, you can go ahead and exfoliate or one day before. Then you're going to go ahead and do circular motions on your nose. This application is not complicated. It's very easy and it does go by a little bit faster because you don't want the ice to melt. You want it to stay as cold as possible. And notice that I am just using one hand instead of 2 hands. We will do 2 hands once we get to the sculpting portion. So go ahead and, as you can see, tap, tap, tap all the way up. Okay, this gives it a lifting effect. This will also help with inflammation, reducing that inflammation on the nose since we carry it all over the face. It also helps with sinuses, so that's also a plus benefit. We're gonna go like a fan. Make sure we're covering. The first kind of layer, if you're using the ice facial just to have the mask and just for the cooling effect, not necessarily for sculpting, then this is the layer that you would be doing. You would only be doing just one individual layer. and then you would let it dry, because you can use this as just as a nice mask and let it dry for about 10 minutes. Then we're going to go underneath here and underneath here. Go ahead and rub it in. Since it's a thin layer, it'll start to get a tad bit tacky, but that's okay. Then you would go here. This is the sculpting part. So you'd go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go. Circle again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then what you're gonna do is with both hands, you're gonna come down. You're gonna do it with some pressure so you can really see that that jawline is getting defined on both sides. You're gonna go up towards the ear, bring it down. Just really work it as much as you can. Just really, really, really with pressure. And then you bring it softly and gently towards the lymphatic, okay? Whatever you put down here, bring it down, okay? Now, if you wanted to just leave it that way, you can. You don't have to do anything else, just let it dry. You can see that the underneath the eye is getting a little bit dry. But if you wanted to continue and sculpt, you would just go ahead underneath the cheekbone 10 times. Okay. Continue down here, sculpt another 10 and another 10. Or wherever you're wanting to chisel or contour, okay? Then once you're gonna do, you're going to really, with pressure, push it out towards the ears and bring it down on either side. Push, down, push, down. Just bring it down, down, down. Now you can apply all the way into this bottom area if you'd like, or you can just keep it here. This is great for older skin types if you want to go ahead and apply it all over, because it will really help tighten and tone and firm up that skin. Okay, so I've gone ahead and finished. I sometimes like to go ahead and lift on the eyebrow a little bit. Okay, just make sure that you have it all over the place, that you're not missing anything else, that everything has a tad bit of the facial. Once you start seeing it, it's gonna start getting a little tacky, then you just wanna let it sit. If you wanna use like a nice brush to kind of brush it through, you can. Now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna let it sit. So now that it's drying, I'll go ahead and tell you a little bit about what you can do. One of the things you can do is go ahead and put your facial away. It's a little messy, so what I like to do is I like to just kind of rinse this off. I have my little towel here, so I'll just do it with the towel. And go ahead and make sure that you have no product on the ribs either, because then that's when it's going to be complicated to close. So make sure that you go ahead and close that really good. Then make sure your lid also doesn't have product in it. You can rinse that out also, or you can just clean it off. Then for it to be ready to use for the next time, what you want to do is go ahead and close it. Okay, then you're going to want to push it upwards. Okay, what that means is if you try to push it up when it's frozen, it's not going to. So the fact that you've been using it with your hands gives it that little bit of warmth, and then you're able to push it for the next use. Then you can go ahead and put it in the freezer. You don't have to put it upside down. You can just put it right side up and put it in the freezer ready to use for tomorrow or whenever you're ready to use it. So how many times could we use it? You can use it up to 3 different times in the week. It's gentle enough that you can use it every day if you wanted to, but 3 days a week is what we recommend. How many treatments could you do within this one tube? You can come out with 2 to 3 applications. If you're doing sculpting effect, 2 applications you'll get. If you're doing just a thin layer, you can actually get 3. Okay, so make sure to keep that in mind. So how many do you get in your kit? So in your kit that you receive with the 3 and then the tube, you actually are getting 9 9 applications in your kit of 75. So make sure to fill them up really good, put them in the freezer upside down, and then you're ready to go. How long does it last? It lasts anywhere from 6 months in your freezer. It'll start to dehydrate, so you want to make sure to use them ahead of time. So you'll get your product and you'll get a little bit extra in here. So when you are ready to use it, you can. So you fill them all up. Once you fill them all up, then you can go ahead and put the remainder in the freezer. Once you're ready to put them back into the container, you can unthaw it and then go ahead and put it in. It's not very much, but it's just making sure that everyone gets the exact amount that they need to in their containers, okay? So that is that. We have 4 different ices. We have our activated charcoal, we have our anti-aging, we have our lavender, we have our detox, okay? The detox and the activated charcoal are geared towards more for acne. It helps with the redness, inflammation, and it helps dry out the acne. So it's a perfect combination to be able to use. You're able to use them on all skin types, any of the ice facials. However, we just do gear those towards more of a acne. Our new hibiscus and beetroot ice facial, those are considered regular anti-aging, and we recommend those for special events. For just your regular use. If you are using the activated charcoal and detox, those will take out impurities. So that means that you will probably get a zit from the cleansing effect. So make sure you don't use those if you have an event, and make sure you use our anti-aging ones for that particular kind. One of the cool things about the ice facial is that you can do treatments prior to it. You can do, wood sculpt or new metal sculpt tools prior to doing the ice facial. And with the ice facial, you won't be able to use all of the metal tools, but you can use certain ones. We just recommend not using them too much afterwards, so you're not taking off the product, so the product is nice and tight on your skin. However, you can use them before to just really help to start plumping up that skin, starting to bring in the blood circulation into the surface of the skin. So yes, you can do those. Say no other treatments with the ice facial because you don't want to overdo anything on the face, and you don't want the skin to be overexposed. So just make sure to do either wood and metal with the ice facial, or the ice facial alone if you wanted to, or do those on a separate day, a day before. Just obviously just making sure that you're conscious about any contraindications that you have. Make sure that you also know of any ingredients that you might be allergic to. All of our products are full of herbs, clays, and essential oils, and we also do include coconut oil in them, jojoba oil. So just make sure that you aren't allergic to any of it. We do put a very small amount of preservative just to ship it out to you, but the product is organic. So as soon as you receive it, please make sure and put it in the freezer so you don't have it go bad. It will go bad a week after you receive it if you just leave it at room temperature. So make sure to put it in the freezer as soon as you get it. So as soon as you get it like this, pour it, put it upside down, and right in the freezer, okay? So my face is already pretty dry. I'm gonna go ahead and start. I have a towel here, a wet towel, cold wet towel. You wanna use cold water or a wet towel that's cold. You wanna continue with making sure that your product is applied on your face, that it's cold, to keep with the thermogenesis. Now, what is thermogenesis? So thermogenesis is the production of heat in your body. So you have receptors when your face gets cold or your body gets cold that goes up to your brain, and it tells your body, hey, listen, I am getting cold. So what your body will start to do is it'll start to activate a process that's called thermogenesis, and it'll start creating heat in your body so that your body temperature can start to go back to its normal state of 98.6. Your body does not like any kind of weird regulation, so make sure that you realize that it's just a natural process in your body. So just like with the body ice, the facial is more of a semi-permanent. The body ice is more of a permanent effect because you are using a larger amount in the body. So this is more of a semi-permanent. If you are doing it more on a regular basis, then you will have better results and then they will last longer. If you decide to do just one treatment of an ice facial, then it'll probably go back in a couple days. One of the things that we like to say is that it is semi-permanent, so that you are aware of that, and this is not a permanent treatment. Your face likes to have, you know, inflammation, there's puffiness depending on the time of the month. All of those things also can play an effect. So just make sure that you are aware of that. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and apply your moisturizer. You do not wanna leave it on. You wanna have a little bit of moisture on your face before putting on your moisturizer. I'm just trying to make sure I have everything off of my face. Then we can go ahead and go. So now we're gonna go ahead and do the Skin Renewal Moisturizer from PureSculpt Cosmetics. I like to use 2 pumps, okay? And then I like to use a 24K potion. We use this 24K potion with our Wood Sculpt tools for the face. It has these really amazing gold little flecks in them. It has amazing skin properties in itself. So I like to do 1 to 2 drops on it. And I go ahead and I take it, mix it well, dab in the areas where I'm gonna be working. Okay, and then just go ahead and start to massage all of that good nutrients into your skin. You don't want to leave your face dry right after the ice facial, because your skin has stripped those natural oils, which is a good thing sometimes when you feel like your face is just getting really oily. Then you want to, and you can see how fast it absorbed. That's what I love about doing it with a little bit of moisture, when the moisture is actually seeping through the skin. So go ahead and apply it, and once you're done, you know, you can do some tingly motions all over your face, and then you're good to go. One of the things that I love about PureSculpt Ice Facials is that it leaves your pore size a lot smaller. So you really don't even need to have foundation on your face unless you're going to an event or something like that. But I love leaving my skin just like this and just being ready to go. If I just maybe do a little bit of my eyes, a little tad of blush, but it just leaves it flawless, glowing, just perfect for your day. And if you are doing makeup, then it's even an extra plus, because it really does give a perfect canvas, and it just leaves your makeup smooth and endless, and it'll just look perfect for the rest of your day. So I hope you guys liked the tutorial on the ice facials. If you have extra questions for us, you can go to our website at puresculptbeauty.com, and you can also email us at info@puresculptbeauty.com. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.